is not given right n for that unknown element and solve.
Solve. So
All of them?
all of them.
How?
Alright. Well, you
They
did
all
it on
have
9,
the same
10,
thing.
9, 10, 11. You did it on those, so you should be fine.
What?
Alright, here we go.
I don't understand.
I'll explain here in a minute. Call them your jets.
Those are story problems.
Yeah.
I was actually having a really tough
Alright, here we go.
story problem.
Okay, first questions. Make sure on this first one, you're counting up the number of shaded items, you're making your fraction, you're changing that to a decimal, and then change that back to a percent. Make sure you're counting up the number of shaded over the total, okay? Number 2, on this one, remember you're changing this percent back to a decimal. It should be easy, you just have to move it a certain number of places. Number 3, you have to make this a fraction, and make sure your hint I gave you yesterday is make sure 100 goes on the bottom. Or some form of 100 goes on the bottom. Number 4 and 5, you have to change these to decimals if they're already not, and then you have to change it back to a percent. Number 6, 7, and 8, you have to write these in either in algebraic form or use the proportion, and you have to solve for the missing part, because it is asking for a certain number on these. So you can use the proportions. Remember on this, my hint, if you're going to do it by algebra, the word is equal sign, of means to multiply, what means like a variable. If you choose to do it with a fraction, if you choose to do it with a fraction, this is your little hint that we talked about. That the rate or percent goes here. Okay, that goes over the 100. The small group of items goes here, and then your total group, the total goes here. So if they have a total number of items or buses or whatever it is, students, that goes on the bottom. You can use that same formula for the story problems, okay? The ones that are down below, because these, so the next ones, 9, 10, 11, are the exact same problems. They're just a story problem, and you have to answer the questions. These 3, 9, 10, 11, you can use this little proportion I'm giving you on the board, or you can use the algebra. On these, you do have to label your answers. So if it's asking for students, you better label it students. If it's asking for games 1, you better label it. If it's asking for percents, make sure that you're doing your math here, okay? On these, you cross multiply and divide. That's your only hint you get from me. 12, you have to find the discount. Here's your little hint, you have to multiply to find what you're saving. Then you can either add or subtract it off to figure out what you're saving. Okay, 13, you have to figure out the rate of change or markup. It's a discount or a markup.
I need a pen or a pencil.
Better grab one quick. You're right in camera shot. Yep, I'm recording. So, 14. You have to multiply these out, figure out your tax, either add or subtract it on. You should know how to do taxes. 15, I had your formula on the board yesterday. I'm going to put it back up here. Here's your formula for finding interest. Amount equals P times R times T. Remember, on this, principal is the amount of money that you're given, R is the interest rate, T is time, you multiply those out, they give you your answer. What I'm looking for, number 15, you should know that formula. I want to leave that formula on the board for you. 15, you have to figure out what the percent is, the financial charge. It's 2% of this credit card bill. You have to add it back in to figure out what your payment is, or what the price is before your payment, and then you make your $25 payment and tell me what the final balance is for next month. We did this in class one day. We had like a big grid of paper, and you had to do like the first 5. The last one, you have to figure out if this real estate agent, he or she, whoever it is, makes a sale of this price of a house at this commission rate. You have to figure out how much money they're getting. What is that percent of that total house, okay? So that's the numbers. You should be labeling your answers. It should be in terms of money on this one. 7% of that sale, because that's what this agent is getting, okay? All right, take your time. You have the entire class here today to work on this. Okay, if you get it done, finished, complete, however you want to say it, you can turn it in my basket. Make sure every question is answered, because you'll miss a ton of points if you don't. And make sure you're labeling certain things. If you have questions, you can attempt to ask, but I will not guarantee that I'll tell you an answer for it, because it's something that you should know how to do in practice these days. Okay, take your time, and the rest of the time is yours. So.